Hey guys, what is going on? Anthony here with Pistons Talk. In today's video, wanted to talk to you guys about this recent Bleacher Report article. Their article is redrafting this year's draft, and they had your Pistons redraft certain players, so we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about where they would draft the players that we actually drafted in this year's draft. So with the 7th pick, Bleacher Report would have the Detroit Pistons redrafting Cole Anthony out of the University of North Carolina, and here's the reasoning why they would pick Cole Anthony over Killian Hayes. Pre-draft questions over Killian Hayes' shooting and turnovers appeared valid during his brief time in the Detroit Pistons starting lineup before an hip injury knocked him out. Meanwhile, the concerns about Cole Anthony are fading. Over his last 10 games, he's averaging 13 points, 4.8 assists, 4.7 rebounds, while shooting 50% from 3. He's appeared more comfortable than Hayes, whose jump shot and decision making looked far away through 7 games. Anthony's scoring and shot making could give him an edge in arguably the NBA's weakest backcourt. He still has time to improve on using his dribble to set up teammates, but he's looked willing and skilled enough as a passer to buy more playmaking potential. Now, Cole Anthony was a player that I was on board with drafting if there were certain players not available at 7. I'm not even going to be mad at Bleacher Report for this argument in their article. Cole Anthony's looking really nice, and the fact that he fell to 15 to Orlando, I think, was a really good draft choice for them. He's looking like a guy that maybe potentially they could build around at the point guard or shooting guard position because he can play both guard spots. Now, the next pick they had your Detroit Pistons drafting was Isaac Okoro at 16. Originally, he was the 5th pick from the Cleveland Cavaliers, and this is Bleacher Report's argument. Okoro's scoring limitations are worrisome, but currently leads all rookies in minutes because of his defensive toughness. Instead of chasing unrealistic upside from anyone else at number 16, the Pistons should have valued Okoro's high floor and role player potential. Now, I don't think Isaac Okoro would fall to 16, even, the way he's playing right now in Cleveland. I think some team in the lottery probably would have picked him up. I think him being the 16th overall pick is really unrealistic on Bleacher Report's part. Now, the last draft pick they would have us redrafting at 19 would be RJ Hampton. Now, he was actually drafted number 24 overall, and this is why they believe the Pistons should have drafted RJ Hampton at 19. The second time around, the Pistons might want to gamble on Hampton's upside over Saddiq Bey's one-dimensional shooting. Though Hampton hasn't logged many minutes, he's still more an exciting long-term play with explosive athleticism and combo guard skills at 20 years old. Now, Hampton was another guy that I was really high on personally. I thought that he could play both guard positions, but at the same time, it would kind of be redundant to draft Cole Anthony and RJ Hampton in the same draft on Bleacher Report's part. That's something I don't agree with. Now, with the players that we did draft, they did have Killian Hayes going to 15 to the Orlando Magic, and this is the reasoning. They say with Anthony selected in the top 10 of this redraft, the Magic can buy low on Hayes, who doesn't turn 20 until July and excels on ball screens, score, and playmaker. Given all the injuries to the Orlando roster, this lost season would be represented as a good opportunity for Hayes to play through mistakes and develop his shooting and decision making. So, Killian Hayes falling to 15, I actually could see it, as a possibility as we're looking at it right now because, through 7 games, he's kind of looked rough. He had one good game when Blake and Derrick Rose was out against Atlanta where he had 10 points and 8 assists, but the Pistons did lose that game. I think that was the one game where he actually got to, make decisions and, run the offense as a point guard. But, I kind of agree with, Killian falling in the draft to 15. So the next player they have getting drafted is Saddiq Bey. They have him falling to the New York Knicks, who had the 25th overall pick, and they had this to say about Bey. Bey hasn't been efficient in Detroit, but the eye test still buys his shooting and defensive projections long term. And the Knicks can't add enough 3-and-D forwards. Now, it's not too crazy to assume that he would fall to 25th because he did fall to 19. You could argue that some teams between 20 and 24 probably would have drafted him. And, I would be open to listening to those arguments. I think that is a strong possibility for him to get drafted. The only thing I disagree with Bleacher Report is just calling him a glorified 3-and-D shooter. If you watch Pistons games with Saddiq Bey, he's taken it to the basket. He's ran in transition. He's posted up. He's more than just a 3-and-D shooter. A 3-and-D shooter to me is just someone that plays defense and stands in the corner. That's not Saddiq Bey's game. We know he's more than capable of just doing that. He shows, in every game that he has something new in his bag that we didn't know that he actually had. So, I don't really agree with Bleacher Report's assessment of him so far. But last but not least, we have Isaiah Stewart coming in as the last pick. And they have him going to the Toronto Raptors with the 29th overall pick. As you guys know, Isaiah Stewart was the 16th pick for the Pistons. They have this to say about Stewart. Stewart has been able to show off his toughness and energy around the basket for the Detroit Pistons. Physicality and offensive rebounding will continue to be his money makers, though he'll slip in a redraft without showing any shooting or valued offensive skills. Now, I could understand Bleacher Report's standpoint from this. You have a center that has physical tools. He can offensive rebound. Defensively, he's bullied. Established centers in the NBA, like a Marc Gasol, like a Rudy Gobert. DeMarcus Cousins really hated going up against them. He even had some scuffles with Montrezl Harrell from the Los Angeles Lakers. So he's already shown defensively and mental toughness over established big men in today's game, and I think that's a valuable asset to have. Offensively, we really haven't seen much from him so far. He's been a screener. He's been a roll man. He's crashing the boards really hard. But he recently just hit his first three-pointer against the Brooklyn Nets. For you to say that he doesn't really have any offensive skills so far, I think is a really unfair assessment because we're only less than 30 games into the NBA season and you're already judging a rookie that was drafted 16 very hard, and you think that he would fall almost into the late first round. I think some team would have drafted Isaiah Stewart just because they saw the potential. They saw, this is a guy that we could potentially develop into a two-way center that can impact the game on both ends. That's just my take on the Isaiah Stewart falling to 29 to the Raptors. But let me know what you guys think of Bleacher Report's latest article of them redrafting Cole Anthony at 7, them redrafting Isaac Okoro at 16, and drafting RJ Hampton at 19 for the Detroit Pistons, and having Killian Hayes falling to 15, having Saddiq Bey fall to 25, and Isaiah Stewart to 29. I'll talk to you guys down in the comment section. Like always, I hope you guys are staying safe. Take care, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.